curious as to your thoughts on this one. Mel Kiper, top 10 quarterbacks in the upcoming draft. He's got Shedeur Sanders ranked 1, then Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe, Ewers, Howard, McCord, Rourke, Shaw, and Dylan Gabriel. Um, uh, and again, I'm not sure. I think either of those top 2 guys are they're not can't miss guys. And I see elite arm talent with Cam Ward, and I see some. Earlier in the show, the comp that the 33rd team had on him was Jameis Winston, and I see some Jameis Winston throws from Cam Ward, and
yep,
we knew what that felt like. The one that intrigues me, and I don't. Jalen Milroe, and I'm not saying Tommy Rees means they're going to draft Jalen Milroe, but I'm saying Tommy Rees has knowledge of Jalen Milroe that no other team does. He was his offensive coordinator for an entire season where he played pretty well at Alabama.
Yeah, definitely a connection there. And it could sway it either way, Dave. You know what I mean? We don't really know. It could sway them to have a lot of interest in him, or it could sway them away from him. You know what I mean? But at least they have the inside information on a player like that. I tend to think that a lot of teams are going to like him once they start interviewing him. He is a very, very hardworking, solid, good head on your shoulders, good leader type of guy that teams are going to gravitate to because of his leadership and his personality and just kind of the kid that he is, by all accounts. So I think teams will lean towards him once they get a chance to sit down with him. So who falls in love with him? Does somebody come up and give him in the back of the first round? Those are all really intriguing prospects, and I think the Browns may have interest in him. You know what I mean? Can they, make their offense work with him? That's a big thing, and I don't think he would be ready to play right away. So once again, it's kind of um, he's a little raw, right? The tape shows that he's a little raw. He probably needed another year in school, but you understand why he would come out in this class as it's a little bit weaker for his own reasons, So the other guys, I'm with you at the top of the draft. I can't at this point justify taking either guy really at 2.
Yep.
So I don't know what they do there. You mean, all this crazy stuff with Dallas. Maybe you get a haul, maybe you can trade back. But you want to come away with a premier player. I don't want them to trade back too far
Yep.
because this draft doesn't have more than like 8 elite prospects. You know what I mean? Game-changing guys. So they're going to have to play this just right to come away with an elite playmaker and probably some draft assets as well.
Yeah, and again, when you're drafting as high up as the Browns are, you need to think in terms of Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward. Those are 2 of your cornerstones. One was number 1 overall, one was 4 overall. You got to get that type of player out of this first round. I agree with you wholeheartedly.